Oscar De La Hoya speaks out, condemns Ryan Garcia, and issues his first formal statement on behalf of Golden Boy Promotions after Ryan's viral and racist rant on social media. So let's get it in. Oscar De La Hoya, he tweeted, "There is no room for hate or intolerance at my company, period. I condemn Ryan Garcia's words in the strongest terms possible. I see that he has apologized, and that is a start, but it is only a start to earn back the trust and respect of those of us who have and continue to support him. We hope Ryan Garcia will use this time he has away from the sport to work through the issues he has publicly discussed. We stand ready to help in whatever we can," end quote. So at this point, all these apologies from Ryan Garcia's parents, from Ryan Garcia himself, which he did apologize after saying he would never apologize, the pressure is coming down. You know, now Oscar, Golden Boy, they're forced to speak on it. These apologies really mean nothing. There's an old saying, the best apology is changed behavior. Ryan Garcia still exhibits the behavior that has got him in this position and backed against the wall if you look at his social media. And I've always said this on my channel, the same things that make you laugh make you cry. Some of the same things that build you can also tear you down, right? Like, let's say you love football, and since a boy, you've been in love with the game of football, right? Then you make it to the NFL, that same very game that when you start to reap the benefits of it, it could tear you down, because with the football and with being in the NFL, you know, now you're a multimillionaire, etc. And with these things in mind, it's always very important to exercise balance, because you don't want the game that you love and then you finally blow up or you finally make it, like let's say Aaron Hernandez, and then that's the same thing that kind of takes you out. You start feeling empowered, you start feeling above the law, you're with Tom Brady, you're winning Super Bowls and stuff, and then you start feeling lawless, like I never had this type of money. And they say money doesn't change a person, and I agree to that. I don't think money changes you. There's an old saying that money doesn't change you, it merely amplifies what's already there. So Ryan Garcia, his insecurities, his racial thoughts, they say a sober man might not always tell you the truth, but a drunk man speaks a sober man's thoughts, right? And Ryan Garcia, he has a lot more to prove. A lot of people, he lost a lot of people. You know, there are people who were rocking with the performance. Then he tested positive, so he lost fans from that, from tested positive with the Osterring. Then some people even believe the tainted supplement. Me, I've said the same thing from the beginning. I said the whole fight was stupid. They should have canceled the fight. I said this was a lose-lose situation for Devin Haney and a win-win for Ryan Garcia. But then Ryan, he couldn't just take that and take the win. He had to test positive. And then he continues to push his luck by doing and saying whatever he wants. So I'm glad that Ryan Garcia is going through this stuff. I really am, because I don't respect this about this new generation Z, where they think they can say and do anything. A lot of these streamers, like you've seen, I even posted on my social media, Nate Diaz's team ran down on that streamer Neon. I like that. I don't like this new generation thinking they can say and do whatever they want and there's no ramifications or no consequences. So when Neon, who, you know, can't bust a grape in a fruit fight, is talking crazy to Nate Diaz saying, hey, when you get knocked out, yada, 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 that's disrespectful. You're asking a fighter a disrespectful question, trying to create a viral moment for clicks. So when his team sees you, then you got to deal with that. You got to deal with that element of what you said. So I like this for Ryan Garcia, to be honest, because Ryan Garcia is proven to not be reliable. He's proven to be a person you cannot trust what he says, from saying he's sleeping with people's wives. And I've already previewed this stuff. I've seen this stuff coming. Not exactly how it played out, but I told you the downward spiral. You can't give a person like Ryan Garcia this type of money and this type of idle time, because the worst comes out. So as far as Golden Boy and his parents and Ryan apologizing, it really means nothing. You disrespected black people. You disrespected a whole group of people. Whether you want to say you were trolling or joking, it's too late. The damage is done. You disrespected Muslims. Here on Boxing Ego, we don't rock with that. We don't condone that. I ain't never been about that. So everything that I've said up until this point was boxing centric. It was about Haney versus Garcia. And it's funny that some people expect the response from Ego to be different, but when have you ever known me to rock with discrimination? I've never been about that. I've always stood up for the underdog. So that was never gonna slide, and that was never gonna be acceptable right here on Boxing Ego. Ryan Garcia, he pressed his luck. If you stay in the casino long enough, you're bound to lose. This is what Ryan Garcia did. So they could keep all these apologies, deal with it. Ryan out here talking crazy, and before it was about boxing. Like nobody, including myself, I have a problem with Ryan Garcia taunting and posting pictures of the Devin Haney performance, dropping diss song. That's just regular fight trash talk. You know what I mean? You saying you won clean, you beat him in the fight, even though they overturned it, yada, yada, yada. That part is fight game. But Ryan has crossed severe lines talking about the things he tried to play the Trump role. You know what I mean? And he thinks he's powerful enough and strong enough. So I think he's kind of like on that Andrew Tate / Trump trying to type of train, where he thought all this stuff he could just say that and his following would back it. But now he's seeing that doors are being shut and the blinds are being closed on his career. And now you got to deal with it. Ryan Garcia literally said that he ain't never apologizing, but then he issued 2 apologies to black people and he issued an apology to Muslims. Keep it. You said you didn't want to apologize. Stand on that. So I'm glad. I like it. I like this for Ryan Garcia, because some people like Ryan Garcia, you give them an inch, they take a mile, and they need for things to go really dark in order for them to learn. Ryan Garcia is talking about, I can't be touched, I'm God's son, and all this. We're gonna see. So I don't know what expectation people have for me, but my energy is always gonna be authentic and it's always gonna be real. Ryan Garcia, he's on his own. And it's funny to see people try to convolute the two. Take like, oh, where are all the people that said Ryan Garcia's left hook was landing on Devin Haney? Where are they at now? What does that have to do with what he just said? It had literally, people were talking about boxing. What Ryan just said is not about boxing. So you have to control that beta male energy and deal with things on a case-by-case basis. With this stuff, what he said was deplorable. Ryan Garcia is fully on his own, and now he's talking about going to rehab. And to be honest, Ryan Garcia, he looks like he's only gonna learn when things get really bad. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. The reason I'm saying this is he's still talking trash to people. He's arguing with Dean the Great, arguing with Virgil Ortiz. He doesn't know his role. He's still thinking that he could beef with people. Like, either you want to clean up or you don't want to clean up. You're still trying to act the same way you were acting with these fake apologies. Nobody's buying it, you know? So we may have very well already seen the best of Ryan Garcia. some people you can't give money. So Golden Boy, Ryan's parents, they can say whatever they want. Ryan can apologize, but the best apology is truly change behavior. And for me, I'm not seeing that from Ryan Garcia. He's acting the same way on social media. So until we see that change, it's not to be believed. And I think it's going to get to the point, almost like Tekashi, and I used this example before, where Tekashi, same thing, young, big-headed, think you can say whatever you want, think you got the best entourage, and you unfadable, unupwittable, whatever the case may be. I never went through that stage where I thought I could just walk through earth talking crazy about people and offending everybody. So I never experienced this, but same thing with Tekashi. But when you start getting blackballed and your finances start dwindling, and now because you can't get your songs on the radio, you can't get your songs on Spotify's and titles and things like that, and then that money slow up, and then no one wants to book you for shows, then we gonna see. If you look at it, Tekashi, they filed for bankruptcy. He was, in jail. He was jailed in like Cuba or somewhere. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what this is for Ryan Garcia. What Ryan Garcia said and did, completely it is unexplainable for one, and it's unacceptable. So Ryan got to live with the results. I'm big on that. You make your bed, lie in it, and live with the results. You said you weren't going to apologize. Now you're trying to apologize. Too late.